some other observations are coming to the fore related to Aadhaar card. The Supreme Court observed that the classification of documents used in the special intensive revision exercise was not arbitrary and that Aadhaar had been included in the process pursuant to directions issued by it. The court said that all overall documentation framework adopted by the Election Commission was legally structured and consistent with the objective of electoral roll revision. It clarified that the question of citizenship arises only in the limited context of determining eligibility for inclusion in the electoral rolls and that the Election Commission does not undertake a formal determination of citizenship status. It emphasized that the SIR exercise does not confer or deny citizenship under any circumstances. So, of course, big arguments coming in, observations by the Supreme Court of India when it comes to documentation and as well. Now, I have my guest, Ms. Jasmine Dhamkewala, who is a Supreme Court advocate, Sukumar Pat Joshi, who is also a senior advocate, joining me on the broadcast. Jasmine, I would like to go to you firstly with this observation, that we just saw being made by the Supreme Court with regards to the documentation process, and it has clearly, stood by the use of Aadhaar card and dismissed any sort of arguments that, this was not being done as per the rules laid down by the Supreme Court itself. How do you view this assurance by the Supreme Court, and especially during this large scale exercise when documentation becomes so central to the argument?
Basically, this SIR is all about documentation, about tallying documentation with facts. So documentation is one of the most important things in it. Apart from door-to-door checking, one has to verify with the Aadhaar card if the concerned person is the same person. So unless the documentation is in place, this exercise will be futile because you can't do any ground checking unless there is a verification, a backup of a proper Aadhaar card or any such verification. So that is why it has upheld the requirement of documentation, because finally how it works on the ground will largely depend on what the available material is. If there is no proper identification, then it is not going to work. So that is why it has to go hand in glove. That is my view, because documentation makes it's the backbone of everything.
Absolutely, ma'am. Now, Mr. Sukumar Pat Joshi, senior advocate, also with us on the broadcast. Sir, of course, a very major